welcome to today's session. And today's session is about feeding for profitable um, fish farming and for fast growth. So, what if I told you that in fish farming there is something you can do, whether you are old or young, there is something you can do that will make your fish begin to grow fast. There is something you can do that will make the profits you have to begin to increase. Yes, yes, yes. There are things you can do on your farm that will reduce the cost of production. What if I told you all of those things now? And in all honesty and sincerity, even very many years ago, even before I got admitted into the Department of Fisheries and Aquaculture, before I got admitted in the university, my father was farming fish. So I was involved in the proper activity. But few years down the line, I began to realize some of the things that we were doing wrongly. I began to see that, oh no, we are doing this one wrongly. We are doing this wrongly. What I'm trying to tell you today is that there are some information that I'll be sharing and that I'll be handing over to you today. I'm telling you, the issue of slow growth in fish farming is what many farmers are experiencing. And many farmers watching me right now can relate to this. You find out that your fish is not growing as they should. Unfortunately, it's not something that many people want to talk about because many farmers are not happy about it. One, for some reasons, many farmers are, they think they are unlucky. Some other farmers think it is their fault. So they don't want to talk about it that my fish are feeding, but they are not growing well. But hey, these are the things that we need to deal with. These are the things we will be talking about today. And I will be giving you all of this information. This is PAMP 2026, Pisces Academy Mentorship Program. This is one of our sessions. It's an ongoing session. This only happened to be an open session. Most of our sessions are closed sessions, and this is um and open sessions. Anyone can join this one, but we have a lot going on in our official community and in our closed sessions. I want to welcome all the mentees to this particular session today, and sincere apologies for the glitches. We had a technical issue, but now we are back stronger. All right. Please, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Aisha from Ghana, Kausara the Lion Cow from Nigeria, Dr. Anne Marie, Adebayo Azizat. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everyone. Glad to see Bolos Chaka from KB, Nigeria, Olare Deborah from Ogun State, Nigeria, Akunchiere Obiojofo from Akwa Ibom State. Good to see you, ma'am. Adeoya Yomide Esther from Ijebu-Ode. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Azizat from Federal University of Technology. Good morning, Adeoye Adeyemi from Kwara State. Good morning, my G from Lagos. Glad to see you from Inzobeche from Plateau, Nigeria. Glad to see you, all you farmers, practicing farmers and aspiring farmers. Glad to have every one of you here. And it's going to be an amazing session today. Like I mentioned, there are many things that are causing slow growth. For all mentees, please begin to register your presence. Admins are taking attendance, and you know how we deal with these things in our official community. Register your presence so that your attendance are taken properly. Let's know your name and let's know where you are joining us from. What I'm going to do today is that I will be handing over all of the things that will make for success in feeding your farm, your fish. Now, I mentioned earlier that many farmers don't want to talk about this, but it's a reality. They don't want to say that. It's not easy for a farmer to say that I'm putting money in this and I'm not getting results. Some are ashamed. Now we'll be facing the reality. Some are ashamed Some feel that it's their fault, although some are doing many things wrongly, and we'll be unpacking it. I will identify those things very soon and we'll unpack them one after the other. Some other people think village people is doing them. Today, you will understand everything that has to do about how to feed your fish well for fast growth. There are some questions where some people will ask about boosters. What about Mr. Taiwo, the fish experts? What can I use to boost my fish? Today, we will unpack everything. We will unpack everything. Yeah. Glad to see all. I see all the comments coming in, and your name and where you are coming from. Good to see you, Mr. Austin from Kenya. Good to see you. Good to see you. You see, PAMP is a Pan-African initiative. Mr. Jerrison, that's my farmer friend from Jos, Nigeria. Good to see you. This PAMP is a Pan-African um, academy and initiative where we are raising profitable and skilled farmers. You know, some people know how to farm, but they are not making the farming for profits. Pisces Academy Mentorship Program is where we align both and we are raising the next generation. And in this mentorship, we have mentees all the way from Cameroon, Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, Tanzania, Uganda, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. I want to welcome you all, welcome you all, welcome you all. Now, the interesting thing about feeding, pay attention, this is it, we have begun. The interesting thing about feeding is that there are many activities in fish farming that we do. You change water in fish farming. Sometimes you clean your pond, but none of them can be compared to feeding because feeding is the most occurrent activity. I mean, you have to feed your fish every day. Now, this is where it lies. If you commit any mistake or any error in feeding, do you see that those mistakes will be repeated every day? This is why feeding is what every fish farmer must pay very good attention to. Because if you make any mistake in feeding or on the feed, it will affect the fish every day. And anything that affects your fish every day is actually affecting your profit. You see, the main aim of this thing is so that many, we get better profits. Some farmers are actually making profits, but they should make more profit than they should. You know, practicing farmers, some of you can relate with what I'm saying. And I won't be, mincing words too much. We're going straight into business. But I first want you to understand why feeding is very important. It's so important because it is that one activity. You see, this information I'm saying is important for you to guide all of the things you'll be saying today. Feeding is that one important activity that is recurring. You feed today, you feed tomorrow. In some cases, you even feed twice daily. In some cases, you feed 3 times, 4 times, 5 times daily. Now, don't just pick some of the things I say, except you wait till the end of all of this session. You have to listen to all I'm saying because that's one of the issues in fish farming. Some people take just half information or 30 seconds of information and they run with it. That's one of the places where the issues began. So there are some truths that must be balanced for you to understand it. And that's why that's one of the things that necessitated what we are doing, so that every farmer begins to understand the nitty-gritty of these things and everybody begins to make really good profits and more money. Good to have you, Joy Achanya. That's my mentee from Joberman, Nigeria. And the first thing I want to mention is the power of timing. Can somebody write in the chat the power of timing? I've never put it this way. I've never structured that word this way, but I like how it came. Timing, there is something about timing in fish farming. See, I mentioned earlier that even before I gained admission in the university to study fisheries, I've been practicing fishery. Yes, good to see you, Salimon. I've been practicing it, and later I now began to see things that we were doing wrongly, that if we had known, we would have made more money. I'm telling you the truth. Meanwhile, then we thought we were making money. We were actually making profits, but we could have made more. Yeah. So I want you to pay attention to these things. It's very important, and many people don't know that in fish farming, timing is so powerful, because a lot of farmers think that one side, because they feel that fish needs to feed. When they feed, they will grow. So they think that once I feed my fish, that's fine. That's not all there is. There is a particular time. There is the power of timing in fish farming. That if you miss it, something good. If you miss timing, if you understand the power of timing, you won't make much more profit. You know why? Because your fish will not grow well. And when I'm talking about fish growth, you can be feeding your fish and you are seeing that they are growing. I'm not talking about the growth that you just see. They actually supposed to grow than what you are saying. Yes, the power of timing is massively important. And what do I mean by this? Routine is very important. It's one of the most important things in fish farming. So there are people who, they just know that I just need to feed my fish. Some of you know these things that I'm saying, but even though you know them, you are not working with them every day on your farm. What I'm doing to you today is to challenge you to always maintain and work with routine. Now, this is what I mean when I say timing is powerful. If you feed your fish at this morning, let's say you feed at 7 a.m., tomorrow you feed at 11 a.m., the following day you feed at 10 a.m. You see, and that thing keeps changing, going up and down, going up and down. Guess what happens? Because fish are social, I want to show you the things that are making your fish not to grow well. Be open-minded today. Be open-minded. And at the end, you begin to see results on your farm. Your fish are social animal and they adapt to timing. But when those timing are changing, it will begin to stress them because they are adjusting every now and then. Now, when they are stressing, they are using up more energy. That more energy they are using will not help them conserve their energy for growth. You see, this is one of the simple ways that many farmers are losing money. You see, it may not be directly related to losing money, but it's related to losing growth. And when growth is slow, money is being wasted. If you get what I'm saying, I want you to, if you get what I'm saying, I want you to put in a comment. Let me know if you understand what I'm saying. Let me know if you understand what I'm saying. Because I really want to go to another point. I really want to go to another point, but I need you to get it. So I want to get your feedbacks. I want to get your feedbacks. Let me have your. Yes, I see the reactions already. I see the reactions already. See, and see all of these things I'm saying. Some of you here already even have my book on feeding errors that slow down fish growth. And I've had many testimony from farmers far and near, outside the country, even, and even outside this region. Of those, yeah, we understand. I love that. I love that. Of how they have seen many secrets in that book and it has begun to change. Some of them are here. I greeted some, of you just not quite long. What am I saying? If you look at, for all of you who have that book, always concentrate on the farmer acts. Those farmer acts are tricks that will help you, to quickly understand some things. They are like speed. They will give you shortcuts to things and that are working that have been working. Good to have you, Jumoke. Ojeyemi, welcome, ma'am, from Benin City, Nigeria. Good to have you. And I mentioned one of the hack I gave in chapter 1 of that book is one of the ways you can master timing. There is a way you can hold. This life, there are information that hold. When you understand them, you have the secret to it already. You will never fail in that area again. So when you understand this farmer hack I'm talking about, take the time to. I don't want to go into some details because of time. Mr. Maxwell Gathi from Kenya, good to see you. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. So I'm saying that for those of you who have that ebook, focus, check after reading everything, and of course, it's a practical guide. You have to keep visiting every time, but pay attention to the farmer acts and the focus. So I also show you a focus on things to look at to help you to know that what is the timing. What is the timing? There is something about timing. There is something about timing. There is something about timing in fish farming. And if you can adhere to it strictly, you can build a routine around it. Yes, that's the word. Routine is very important in fish farming. It's not that you feed, if you feed today at 7 a.m. and you feed 11 a.m. tomorrow, you're already confusing your fish. Remember, I said they are social animals too. You're confusing them. So choose a time that is ideal. If you want to feed, because there are actually there are timing. You don't just feed too early, you don't feed too late. All right, mid morning is a good example, something around 9 a.m. You see, anytime you want to feed, it should not be a harsh condition. It should not be a harsh weather, and then now maintain it. Maintain it. I like to get feedbacks because I like the facilitation model. That's what we do. I don't do the one on We don't do the lecture one. We facilitate. We don't present like we are doing theories here, because this is really practical. And that's the beauty. Yes, that's the beauty of this mentorship we're having. Mentees, you know that the second phase of this mentorship is a practical session where learn practicalities. And so that's why all of these things we are saying are good. I'm saying real farmers here. Mr. Dewale Ashimi says, how about fingerlings feeding time? So I will get there. There is something about how many times you should feed. I will get there. Good to see you, Disable. Good to see you from South Africa. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to always see you and have you here. Now, I'm going to answer your question about fingerlings. And tomorrow, guess what? Tomorrow we're actually dealing about fingerlings. I don't know if many of you already know what the curriculum holds for tomorrow. Tomorrow we are dealing about fingerlings, healthy fingerlings. Tomorrow's session, if you attend tomorrow's sessions, you won't have issues with fingerling anymore. Yeah, I mean, you won't stock bad fingerlings. And when some things happen, you'll be able to maneuver some things. I'll be showing you those realities tomorrow. I'm telling you, there's a way that leads to the city. It is when we don't understand some things that we suffer for it. But things of this earth and kingdom and this life, the answers to principles. Anything, see, I throw this thing up, it's going to come down. It'll be obeying law. In the world of fish farming, there are laws and there are principles. That's why I started by saying that if you are old or young, if you follow these things, you will get the results. Okay? Okay. If you are having a great time as a farmer today, let me know. Let me know in the chat. Let me know. If you're having a great time, let me know. Let me know. So just to since Mr. Adewale Ashimi, these are farmers that we discuss their challenges they are facing on the farm. We discuss it real life, almost every day. We have good relationship and all of that. Since you have asked, so let me move to another point that nobody should miss this one. Nobody should miss how many times you feed your fish. How many times you feed your fish. Because the reason is this, there is, you remember where we are coming from, that your fish needs to eat so that they will grow. They want to feed so that they will grow. But if they are not able to get that feed at the particular period that works best for them, they may not even feed. So you want to get them to feed, and you want them to use that feed well. So there is a particular window that's for different kinds of fish and different sizes of fish that you need to pay attention to. That's where that question comes in. For fingerlings, and I want to give you an illustration quickly for this. Pay attention to this illustration because we will now relate it to fish. This illustration is for human beings. Now, you will see, if you are a parent here, many of us here are parents. If you're a parent, or you have seen babies and how they deal, and toddlers, and teenagers and adults, look at how they feed. The babies cannot eat so much feed at once. But do you know they stress their parents? Do you know they stress their parents? Good to see you, John Favor. If you're a mentee just joining, please register your presence. Let's know your name and where you're joining from, so the admin can take your attendance. All right. Talking about human beings, they can't eat so much bulky food, but they stress their parents to eat multiple times. One thing I want you to understand is that there is a way the Creator, God, regardless of what your religion is, there's a way the Creator designed it. Those that are young needs small quantities of feed. Yeah, thank you. Somebody finished it. He said, but they eat frequently. That's it. It has to be frequent. So you see, the baby will be disturbing their mother and their father even in the middle of the night just to suck some milk. Okay, good to see you, Mrs. Rhoda. Good to see you, Mrs. Rhoda. Good to see you, Mrs. Rhoda. They disturb their yeah, that's funny, really. They disturb their parents. They want to suck, they just want to get some milk every now and then, in the morning, afternoon, mid-afternoon, anytime, even in the middle of the night. They just want some milk, and there is nothing you can do about it. But when they are taking it, they are not taking so much. They are not taking so much. When the same way for fish, when the fish are younger, they need. See, in the hatchery, sometimes we feed our fish every 1 hour. Remember, I mentioned there is a window. There is a window. There is a window. There is a window. Good to see you. He's C3, and good to see you. Where are you joining us from? Let's know where you're joining us from. There is a window. When you understand that window, your fish, because those that miss that window will not get the best out of their fish. And if you don't get the best, talking about growth, out of your fish, you will not get the best in terms of money. You see, where we are going is actually money. But to get more money from your fish, you have to get good growth from them. Yes, feeding frequency. This, I don't mind taking enough time to dwell on this. I just need you to understand. Because those who can understand that window, can time that window, and can feed their fish well during those window, will get faster growth. Not only that, their cost of production will be reduced. And I'll tell you how in the course of this session today. Their cost of production will be reduced. Again, they will make more money. And that's where we want to end it. Make more money. Because we are in business. We are not in farming just for farming's sake. There are farmers who are not businessmen. There are farmers who are not business farmers. But what we are doing here, and the generation we are raising and advocating for, is farmers that are making profits. Yeah, and that's what PAMP is about. Yeah, good to have you, Nam the Marvelous. Just see, do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? Donkey, good to have you, Donkey. That's your name, Donkey. Where are you joining us from? Okay, do you get what I'm saying? There is that timing, that window, because now younger animals generally have, you will see that babies, you see a baby last week, and the next time you saw that baby was 3 months time, and you see a very big difference, and you're like, this baby I saw 3 months ago, look at the baby now. Or you saw a baby last year, now you can see an adult 2 years ago, and you saw that same adult now. The adult does not really change, it's still like the same fat person or the same skinny persons, permit me to use those words, okay? But babies, they grow fast. It's because that's when, you see, even for human beings, if the parents do not take advantage of those window, the baby may not do well. Do you see why doctors will advise nursing mothers to give their children breast milk? They will recommend to them to go exclusive on milk, on natural milk. There is a reason for that, because that window, they tell them for the first 6 months, do this, do this, do this. After this, do this, only water, then begin to introduce this kind of food. There is a reason. There's a reason. There is a reason. There is a reason. Do you get what I'm saying? So, the moment you maximize, that window, you get the best out of them. That's why you see that some babies who are put. Good to have you, Jeffrey Epstein. Where are you joining us from? Let's know where you are joining us from. Let's know where you are joining us from. Hello to you. Hello to you. How is your day going? Now, for those who are enjoying, that's why you will see some babies, you see that they are they have smart instincts. Some of these things do not start when they grew. It started at the early age. That window, that early window, that's when we need to concentrate on making sure we feed them well. Meanwhile, there are some other things we need to pay attention to, because you want to feed your fish well does not mean you have to overfeed them. And I'll still show you about this. There is a way to know. There's a way to know. There are signs you will see to know that no, this is already nearing overfeeding. This is because your goal is optimal feeding. If you underfeed, they will not get enough of. You see, you are missing that window. If you overfeed, you'll be causing more damage, because your pond water will be polluted, your feed will be wasted, and many much more that will be touching very soon. Routine is king. Thank you, Josiah, for that statement. You see, these are the people that have read my book on feeding errors that slow down fish growth. Yes, I used that word there. I said routine is king in fish farming. Routine is king. Good to see you, Abdullah Salawuddin. Hi, hello to you. Good to see you, Constance Creed. Good morning to you. I hope you are having a great time today. See, someone made a statement earlier, and I just want to check it. Says, yeah, give it a thumbs up. See, if you are not yet subscribed to this channel, you should. I want you to like this video. You may want to share to a farmer friend. I was looking for a chat, but I missed it, and I understand there are many comments in the chat box. I know someone mentioned that these are the principles governing aquaculture. Yeah, these are the principles. These are the principles. These are the principles. There is a particular window that you don't want to miss. Now, as your fish are growing older, you don't feed them, more frequently. You feed them less frequently, but you now increase the quantity of feed that you give them. You increase the quantity. At the time when your fish are growing bigger, that's not the time to feed them multiple times. It will really not have an effect. So it's like you giving an adult a baby food. That baby food is so rich and more expensive than an adult food. But when an adult takes it, is not getting more nutrients than necessary. The nutrient is present in the food, but is not available to his body because his body doesn't need that much more nutrients. So if you now give it so many much more nutrients, it will consume it. But hey, you have wasted some money. Are you getting how you can reduce your cost of production just by feeding right? Are you getting how your fish can grow well even with the barest cost minimum, and you now be the farmer that makes the best profits? If you are getting what I'm saying, I need to, you know, see you in the chat. Good to have you, Razak Chitu. Welcome. Yeah, I see your reactions. I see your reactions. This is so important. This is so important. So another thing is, and just to mention again, in case you want to get my book or my ebook, the ebook is so easy to get. Just find a link, or find a link in the description of this video or in the description of any other video on this channel, and get my direct WhatsApp line. Message me from there. Let's pick it up, and we should have, okay, everyone, I believe every mentee here has my personal number, and you should all right. So you should, let's have a good networking and good relationship, so that we always share information and grow together. That's very important. You haven't told us about the windows. See, don't, in case you are missing anything, do well to quickly ask. Thank you, James Solution, for saying that. And I've mentioned it is the younger period. When the fish are young, that is when you want to give them feed multiple times. At that window when they are young, don't give them too much feed at once, but feed them separate times. What will now depend on how much more time you feed them will be how well you can manage your water. You don't want to pollute your water for anything. So we have in the hatchery, for the first month, would using commercial feed all through be a good idea? So we will get there. We will get there. Now, let's take fries, for instance. Sometimes we feed fries every 1 hour, but we make sure that there is no uneaten feed, so that it does not pollute the water. In some cases, we feed every 2 hours. In some cases, we feed every 3 hours. But what is determining all this? What is determining all this? How well we can monitor them, and how well we can manage our water well. You see, when the fish are now advanced fry, we may be feeding them 3, 4, 5 times in 24 hours. You see, when the fish are juveniles, fingerlings or juveniles, we may be feeding 3 to 4 to 5 times. If you are a grow-out farmer and you just talk to your fish, you can still actually feed for up to 2 to 3 times. 4 times if you understand the timing well, if you understand how to manage your water well, if you understand their feeding response well. Okay, but your fish are growing. See, adult fish, you have no business feeding them more than 2 times a day, especially when we're talking about an environment that is not controlled. So when I mean not controlled, or I retract that, an outdoor environment. So because an outdoor environment can be controlled, an indoor environment can be controlled, but the level of control is different. Okay, so when it's an indoor environment, we use automated feeding too. We can say we feed during the day and then leave some tranches of feed in the automated feeder to feed before we come back in the morning, depending on on your farm planning. All right, depending on your farm planning. Good to have you. Mr. Abdul from Jos. Good to have you. All right, so we are paying attention on that window has to do with the age of the fish and how many times you feed them. That window has to do with the age of the fish and how you feed them. If you are a mentee of Pisces Academy Mentorship Program and you are just joining or you have not registered your presence, please do so that the admin take proper um, attendance. Take proper attendance. So let's know your name. Let's know where you are joining us from. Okay. Another thing is about feed size. Feed size. How many times will you feed juvenile? Good. So let your questions keep coming in. You know, I love to drive it this way so that we all have plain understanding and we're in alignment. So questions are good. They help us drive it well and give a balance to it. You know, I may not touch where you're looking at it from, but the moment you put questions forward, and that's why I love this kind of sessions. You can easily bring out your questions and we become real with it. How many times will you feed juvenile? So talking about the species, so sometimes we now need to be specific about the fish we're talking about. Is it catfish? Is it tilapia? So we'll be taking catfish juvenile as a case study here. You can feed juveniles for up to 3 to 4 times or 5 times in some cases. But the most important thing is not only about feeding. Some of the things I have mentioned, timing, some of the things I will still mention, because there are some periods. Oh, I'm shooting the gun now. There are some periods you don't need to feed. Yes, and very soon, since you asked this question, we will drift there now. We will drift there. So it's not only about how many times. See, the people that understand these things know that there are some questions you will ask and the answer will be that it depends. Now it depends on what? It depends on this and this. The farmers that used to look for the answer to question to say that this is the answer, feed 1 time or change water 2 times, change water every day, change water once a month, those ones have not really understood the business yet, and they've not really understood the farming yet, they've not really understood the science yet. If not, they would understand that no, it depends on this one, and that's why we're having this. Imagine you are joining this kind of sessions to understand these things. That's why those at PAMP session, those mentees at PAMP, those of you that are mentees of PAMP, you know what I'm talking about. You know the kind of information that you have been having, and you are having it for 12 weeks. I think this is our 5th week, if I'm not mistaken, and we have been having it week in, week out. Massive informations from industry leaders, those who are getting results, and it's been amazing. Can I just take a quick survey? How has the mentorship been so far? PAMP mentees, how has the mentorship been so far? You know, we don't come here. This is, in fact, since the orientation, this is the first open session we've had. Everything has been closed door. You see, one of the things I'm challenging you to do is to begin to give yourself to real informations. Real informations. Good to have you, Chiza Chaya from SA. Good to have you. See, real information, because there are wrong things out there, but there are right farmers too. There are people who have the right information. If you have them, hold on to them. If you don't, that's why we have sessions like this. Give yourself, because some things you get the balance from another session. You see, so but those that mentees of PAMP knows what I'm talking about already. Yeah, I can see the reactions. So how many times will you feed juvenile? It may be 2 times, it may be 3 times, it may be 4 times. It depends. If the weather is harsh, you don't want to feed your fish. If the condition is in such a way that they will not really do well, they will not take the feed well, and they will expend more energy, there may be no point to feed. So take it as if you want to buy something and the cost of logistics is far much more than the cost of what you want to buy. That's the reality. So you want to, the fish wants to feed, but the energy the feed is expending is much more because of the conditions. Do you get what I'm saying? Some instances because of the size of the feed. Yeah, that question already, brings some other points. It's been, you see, this is a PAMP mentee here. Adebayo Adeoluwa says it's been an interesting and educative session so far. I'm looking forward to getting more of the helpful information. We put a survey just last week, and you see, we still have mentors coming, industry leaders, and you know them already because we did mentors unveiling and all of that. But let's save that for now. Good to have you, Agro Josephine. Let's know where you're joining from. So let me just quickly touch on, since the question, Diary of a Farmer's Daughter, good to have you. She says, great, received valuable information. Received valuable information. I know that Diary of a Farmer's Daughter is on the mentorship, but I don't know your name on the mentorship. But I know you here on live sessions. You're always, very engaging. I actually know your name, but I'm just not joining it together. I know everybody on the PAM team, even though we are much. As long as you are, consistent, we know everybody. So, taking from that question on how many times to feed, I want to put a balance to it. And that's about the conditions to feed in. The conditions to feed in. See, please don't forget this. This is one of the most important things you can get from today's session. See, what I'm talking about in my book, Feeding Errors That Slow Down Fish Growth, I dedicated a whole chapter talking about this. That's to let you know. Oh, okay, now I see. Diary of a Farmer's Daughter is Dr. Anne Marie. Amazing. Amazing, amazing. Killer Will says, wonderful, we appreciate the efforts. Yeah. See, at the end of the day, we are not going to be graduating PAMP mentees though. I know some of you already know from the orientation. We're not going to be graduating, we are going to be inducting. It's not everyone that will be, that will scale through. But for those that scale through, they will be inducted into the PAMP. Yeah, because these things we are giving you, they are not things that should just, and they are not things that are everywhere. So, but we have full information, much more on that. But I want everyone on this call, or anyone who will have privilege to watch this, to know that there are periods that if you feed your fish, they will not feed well. Now, the goal is not that whether they want to feed well. The growth is that, remember, you want to make more money from your fish, and they have to feed to be able to grow. If you now feed them in certain conditions, that condition does not permit them to feed well, you have wasted some things. You have wasted some resources. You may waste feed. You may stress the feed because they will waste energy. Imagine a fish that is spending 1,500 kilocalories of energy to consume a feed that will give them 900 kilocalories of energy. Do you see? That's when, remember I used the illustration of feed, of you want to buy something and the logistics to deliver what you are buying is far much more than what you are buying. Now, in fish farming, that's not wisdom. Your fish should not spend too much energy to get a lesser quantity of energy. In fact, they are supposed to find a way to conserve their energy, because that energy will now be converted to flesh. If you get what I'm saying, let me know, because these are the realities that makes for fast growth. It's not booster. Those people, let me quickly say this, those people marketing booster and say use this for booster, it's only a marketing gimmicks. They are only trying to sell some products. Those products are not, I don't want to mention some products right here, but those products, I don't know, some of you know what I'm talking about. They are not made for fish. They say if you use it, it will make your fish grow faster. You mix it in there. No, no. What makes your fish grow fast? Those are the things we are talking about. If you understand the right timing, if you understand the quantity to give at every point in time, if you know when to stop feeding, if you know when to keep feeding, if you understand the sign to check to know that these fish, they need to take more feed, let me give them more, or no, let me stop now, let me monitor them. If you know these things, these are the things that makes your fish grow fast, not some boosters, not some boosters. So I'm saying, I want you to understand that there is a time. There is, see, again, should I say window? There are periods, that's the word. There is a period that when you fish, when you feed your fish, they will not grow well. Now, I have a question from Mrs. Rhoda. She says, when you say harsh weather, do you mean too much cold or heat? Both. Both ways. Hey, you see, I love how Austin Okifo says, I catch it. Yeah, that means you got something, you understand. That means there is something. And you see, John Favor says, I got what you are saying, sir. I love that. I love that. It means you understand what I'm talking about. So, when you say harsh weather, do you mean too much cold or too much heat? Both. Let's take it one after the other. Let's take too much cold. I'm loving this session already. If you are loving this session too, can I get some reaction? It's really been an amazing one. You know why? Because we are relating together. We are relating together. If we want to start with too much cold weather, you remember I mentioned that there is a window. There are periods. Okay, let's use the word periods on this point. There are periods. If your water is too cold, in fact, your fish will not feed well. Yes, fish will not feed well in, okay, now let's take fish generally. They have a particular temperature that they will do well in. Is a range. If the range is not what they are in, they may feed. You can fish, you can give them feed and you see them feeding, but they will not take enough as much as they should. Not only will they not take enough, they will not be able to convert it well to growth. So if you feed your fish, that's why you will notice that in Harmattan, you see we are taking cold, for example. I don't want to rush this point. This good afternoon, good to see you, IBK from Ocean State. That's my ever capable archery supervisor. She's doing amazingly well. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. And we're talking about cold water. I'm talking about periods. Periods. So let's say for a fish like catfish, because of their temperature range that they need to survive, if you feed them at a time when the temperature is very low, they will not even feed well. The one they feed well, they won't be able to convert it well to growth. So I'm trying to tell you that there are some very cold periods that you don't need to feed. I'm telling you that there are some very cold periods that you need to delay your feeding time. It can make it extend into late morning. Yes. For instance, Harmattan period. When in the Harmattan, when the weather is so cold, because the fish there's a temperature of the blood in their stream. When it negates what is in the surrounding, they can't do well. So you now need the temperature to gradually go down before they can carry out their activities. So for those who have my ebook, you will understand. And if you have read it, you will understand what I'm saying. Because all of these things I'm saying today, I explained how and why it is so in my ebook. I won't be explaining why today. I won't be explaining why, except although I'm touching on a few things. But I just want you to understand what, but there is a reason why the fish will not really do well in a very harsh temperature, in a very harsh condition. Or in harsh condition does not only mean temperature, it also means harsh conditions like low oxygen. Now, in that morning, what happens is that oxygen is very low. The dissolved oxygen in the water is very low, because there are some things that happen during the night that I won't go into now because of time. And of course, you can have access to it in the book. If you want a copy of my book, you should have a copy of that book. It's a practical guide that every farmer should have. And can we do something for every mentee? Can we have let's have a slash. We do 10%, let's do 20%. If you're getting the book today, if you're getting it within the next 24 hours, let's have a 20% slash on the book. If you're getting it between the next 24 hours, everyone should. Every farm is a practical guide. There are sections in the book where if you have any issue that has to do with feeding or feed, is a troubleshooting guide that I have towards the end of the book for up to like 6, 7, 8 pages or thereabouts. If you go through those troubleshooting guide, you have any issue, maybe your fish rush the feed immediately but they stopped again, those things, you will see the possible causes and you will see the solutions to deal with it. I see somebody asking about the price, so um see, just come to my DM and then I'll tell you the price. And then we already know that for all mentees or for anyone who is getting within the next 24 hours, there's a 20% price slash. Okay, so and I'll put a link. I'll find a link, or you may not even find this video immediately. I'm not sure. We will be making this particular video available. I'm not sure we'll be making it available, but just in case we make it available, you may find a link in the description, but I doubt it. Yeah, so I see someone says, "Oh my God, you are giving me so much insight." Yes, yes. But I want you to know that the most important thing is that not only information that you have that you don't apply will not give you results. So I'm encouraging you and I'm throwing a challenge to you that apply these things, apply these things, apply these things. All right. So there are periods that if you feed your fish at those periods, they will feed well. And the ones they feed, they will use it well. They will convert it well to fast growth. They will convert it well for you to good money. Yes, I told you that. You see, I used to say something that it's good to learn from your experience. It's just that it's more expensive. Experience is the best teacher, but you don't have to learn from your own because you will lose some money, waste some time, waste some resources. But when you learn from other people's experience, it's like speed. It's like speed. It's like speed. It's like speed. So there's a question here: how much is the book? The ebook is 5,000 naira. The hard copy is 7,500 naira. You may put it in your own currency and just on how to get it. So on this now, there's 20%. Now the 20% slash is on the ebook, not the hard copy, because we did some good, really good printing. Okay, but trust me, we have the same information in the ebook as we have in the hard copy. All right, all right. So you don't just want to feed because you are ready. Pay attention to this. This is Ray Walucho says, I asked a question, sir. I honestly, okay, I just saw your question now. So what will one have to do when the weather at the routine time is bad? Good. I love this question. Pay attention to this, everybody. So Ray Walucho is giving us an instance that he always feeds at 5 p.m. and in that time it is raining. What's the best action? I love this question because it's so practical. So it's like you have a situation where this is the routine, but you now see that this condition does not warrant for you to feed. It's simple and straightforward. Don't feed at that time. Even though you have a routine that you work with, you are not robots. And that's why we are human beings. That's why, hmm, that's why before you feed every day, you must observe your fish. If you have not observed your fish, don't feed. And I love these questions because it takes me to one important thing that can make you a pro in fish farming. How do you observe your fish? Kai, mentees, you are getting a lot today. You are getting a lot. How do you observe your fish? When you get to your pond or your farm, your first priority, even when you carried feed to the point, your first priority is not to start feeding. Your first priority is to observe. Take some time to observe the water. Take some time to walk around your pond. Watch. Watch. See, I'm telling you the deep secret and how experienced farmers and successful farmers begin to get the habits that makes them have success. Watch them closely. See, the first day you may not even notice anything. I'm telling you this. After some time, you begin to see some things beyond what the eyes can easily meet. You can be asking people, don't you see this? They will not see it. But those who have been doing it every time, can you see that routine is king? And why I attach observation, this is a method that I adopt. I love this model of observation because it grows every fish farmer. Because you know why this the reason I set this model up is because it's the model that you have to feed every day. Now, if you position yourself in such a way that you need to observe before you feed, guess what happens? It means that you observe every day. So if you are the type that feeds twice daily, it means that you observe at least twice daily. Meanwhile, there are other times you just walk to your pond and observe. If you understand, if you understand the power of observation, I or the power of the observation alone can just build many things, but it doesn't only work alone because there's a limit to what you can put on your head. You have to record every time you are observing. Make sure you record some things. I'm giving you some kind of deep realities, so those things you record, you may not see them at once. Just over time, maybe some things you have recorded, they may not make enough meaning to you, but put them down. After a while, when you look at these things, you begin to see you begin to see, oh, wow, 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 wow. You begin to see amazing information. So I have another question. I have a question about the condition of the temperature, weather. At what temperature is too cold or too hot for feeding? I am talking about ranges, sir. Amazing. Amazing. So, talking about the temperature, it has to do with the fish we are talking about. So, if we are talking about catfish, temperature of about 27 to 32 degrees is okay. I mean, much more in some cases, much more in some cases. All right. So, but just for you to just in this tropical region, in tropical regions now, if you are talking about catfish, it is hard, especially if you work with the guide, to feed in the mid-morning and in the late evening. So let me define what mid-morning is. So this is it. This is just it. If you follow this, you have escaped harsh weather. I told you there are tricks, there are things to know, because hardly will you see there's no harsh, very hot temperature around 9 a.m. Mid morning is around 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. to 10 a.m. So if you feed at 9 a.m., you are safe. Late afternoon, some people call it early evening, is around anytime from 4 p.m. or 4:30 p.m. thereabouts to 6 p.m. or 6:30 p.m. Yeah, that's late afternoon. In some other person's definition, is called early evening. If you feed at such times, is see the idea, just understand the idea. You want to feed in a condition that the weather is not too hot and the weather is not too cold. I've seen some people feed 3 p.m. in the hot weather. They feed 3 p.m. They feed 3 p.m. in a very hot weather. Your fish will not maximize the best from that feed if you feed in that kind of harsh condition. In cases where the water is too cold, like harmattan, and you feed twice daily, you can skip your morning time, and in that period you only feed once. Yes. In some cases, if you reduce your feeding time for adult fish from once daily, from twice daily to once daily, it can increase how well they grow, and it can increase how well you don't waste feed. Some people, they still want to say that no, this is my routine, twice daily, twice daily, twice daily, and in the process they are wasting feed. And when you are wasting feed, guess what you are wasting? You are wasting money. And feeding is an activity we carry out every day. So when we waste feed every day for some period of time, what are we wasting every day? Somebody type it. Money, money, money. That's what we are wasting. Diary of a Farmer's Daughter says, wow. Yes, yes. So these are the little way that money leaks. So when we say money is leaking in fish farming, it's not that the money is leaking. It's the things you use the money for, or the things that you could have saved money from, that is leaking. Feed wastage. Feed wastage. Energy of your fish. When you waste your energy of your fish, you are wasting what they should have conserved for growth. What they should have conserved for growth, and what they should have what should have given you more money. I smile when I say money. I smile when you say money, okay? All right. So very important. So very important. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that you don't feed, the fish will not take feed from you just because you brought feed. They will take feed from you because you brought feed to them when the condition is right, and you brought feed to them at the right time. You brought feed to them when the condition is okay for them, and at the right time. Oh, they will take feed from you. And if you brought it at the right time, they will take good quantity and they will use it well. When I say use it well, I'm talking about conversion. Because in fish, that a fish is feeding well does not only mean they are growing well. Some of you have heard this line very well. So a fish can be feeding. It does not mean that that feed will translate to growth. It does not mean. The condition in which they are feeding has a lot to do with whether they will grow well or whether they will not grow well, with whether you are even wasting your feed or you are conserving your feed, with whether your fish will grow slowly or it will grow faster, with whether your fish will intend at the end of the day give you much more money or little profit, or in some cases whether you will lose money. If you are getting what I'm saying, say I get it. Yes. In other words, it's best to feed adult fish once a day to maximize growth? No. So the number of times you should feed your adult fish. Now, let's get this clear. Your adult fish, you can feed them once or twice daily. If you want to feed, what will now let me give you an example. If I want to feed fish twice daily, there are some factors that will affect it. There are some factors that will affect it. It depends on your production plan. It's not wrong to feed fish once daily, and it's not wrong to feed fish twice daily. And I will explain. Let's say I want to stock 10,000 pieces of feed. Excuse me. Let's say I want to stock 10,000 pieces of feed, fish now, juveniles, and I want to take them to an average size of 1 kg. So pay attention. You know, I mentioned that it depends on your production plan. Now I'm talking about my production plan. I want to raise 10,000 pieces of fish to average weight of 4 kg. Now, I have an order based on my market. My market needs that 10 tons of fish in the next 4 months, or in the next 4 months from the day I'm stocking. It is possible to achieve 1 kg in 4 months. But if I feed once daily, I won't be able to achieve it. So it's also not a crime to achieve 1 kg in 5 months, or 6 months, or 7 months, or 8 months. It depends uh on my production plan. It depends on, do I have enough time to play with? It depends on, do I have enough money within these 4 periods, enough capital to be able to feed within these 4 months? Or the money I have can do 1 kg, but all will not be available within the next 4 months. So I will produce my average of 1 kg to get 10 tons in a space of 6 months or 7 months. So there are different things. That's why some people used to copy. They say, this my farmer friend or this my farmer neighbor, he stocked this, he harvested at this stage, that's what I will do. No, there are factors you need to consider. What are those factors? Some of these is your capital. Some of it is your market. You see, the first thing I mentioned is markets. So I may even decide if for another person who asks this question, Dr. Anne Mary now, and Dr. Anne Mary now can say, instead of me stocking 10,000 pieces of juveniles at once, I won't do that. I will stock 2,000 this month. After 31 days, exactly 1 month, I will stock another 2,000 pieces. I will stock, for somebody like that, serial stocking. So I hope you get the idea between one or twice daily. Now, this is where you will now get the balance. If in the process of what maybe I stocked in November, and I now realize that in somewhere around December and January, there is Harmattan, do you know what I will do? And I feed twice daily every day. Once I enter into that cold season, I will reduce my feeding to once daily. There are exceptions. Just like someone asked a question earlier on, that if their feeding time based on their routine falls in a particular timing where the is not really possible to feed, or is not the best condition for them to feed, that's an exception. You follow the exception at that point in time. So that is why the real fish farmers, they are not people that work by formula. They are people that understand principles of fish farming. So when you understand, it will not now become how many times should I feed every day. It will not now become how many times should I change water. It will not now become how many times should I do this, or how many feed, or how many bags of feed, or how many. It depends on these things. Yes. These are the deep realities. But I want to know, I'm seeing a lot of I get it, I get it, I get it. I get it. That's it. I love that. I love that. It lets me know that. Yeah, cereal stocking. Meanwhile, a farmer that is doing cereal stocking, it doesn't mean that that may be the wisest decision for that farmer. But for another person, it's not a rule that this person must do. For their condition, it may be that I just need to do this at this point in time. But everybody must understand the two sides to it. Because if I'm feeding my fish in 4 months to achieve 1 kg, it means I can even do 3 cycles in a year. It means that over a short period of time, I can quickly turn out much more profits. But if what I have at hand cannot quickly do that, I don't need to pressure myself. I can do 6 months, 7 months, and plan it well. Do you understand? So the important thing is that you want to make sure that your fish are growing fast, you are not wasting feed, they are not growing slowly, and you are making more money. If you are making money, then you are doing business. If you are not making profit, oh, it's not money really. Even those who are not making, who are not, money can come in and you have not made profits. So it's those that are making profit consistently. If you have been close to me, I've said this a billion times. Those that are making profits consistently, those are the ones doing business in fish farming. Those are the ones doing business in fish farming. So, the reasons why I've touched some of these things, but in my book, there are many details about why. Because you need to understand why. When you understand, you remember I said fish farming is understanding principles. It's not just by formulas. There are things you can do, but you need to understand the principles. Because those principles will be your guiding, you know, they will be your guiding principles. They will begin to guide how you think and how you operate. And those are the things that makes your success. Okay. I also give some practical breakdown. I give practical breakdown in my book on how different conditions that, if we start talking, that's why there's some information and knowledge that to really, express them, we have to put them in a book. That was what necessitated the book Feeding Errors on That Slow Down Fish Growth. I really think every fish farmer must have one. One of my mentors who wrote the foreword of the book, he said something to me. He said, regardless of the kind of experience anyone have in fish farming, that they should have that book. It's a practical guide. It's a practical guide. So, and like I mentioned, there are also hacks. There are farmer hacks. That these things are tricks. These things are tricks that once you understand those tricks, guy, you'll be able to, it's like shortcuts. Things that people have found a way over some time to, sort out. You have it on a platter of information. All right. Hi, it's been some amazing time. So, okay, we started late, so we still have some time. Let me just touch on one more point, then every other thing you need, just use the book as your manual. See, I want to talk about how you keep your feed. Before that, let me just quickly mention that about the size of feed you give your fish. I mentioned this in the course. I mentioned this in the course of this session, but I just touched it briefly. See, there are some information that looks as if it is common, where people or many farmers do not really understand it. They know that when I want to start feeding my fish, I use 2 ml. When they are small, I use this, but they don't really understand the implications. Why? I'm saying this because many people are committing these errors and they don't know. What I'm talking about is the size of feed. If the size is too small, the fish will expect. Remember that analogy I gave, that illustration that I gave, that you want to go and buy, an item, but the cost of logistics or cost of delivery is far more high than what you bought. It happens in fish farming. Now, if you give a fish the size of feed that is too small than what it should, the fish will consume it, But because the fish is small, the feed is small, it takes more. That small does not look to you as if it's more energy, but that energy should have been conserved for growth. So, and if the fish is too big, if the feed is too big, it will stress the fish, feed will waste. So the point I really want you to get here is that this feed is easy to enter the mouth of this fish does not mean that's what you should feed. There are some time, that's why there are windows. You see, that window when they are small, give them that one, that the size is small and has good nutrients. But once they are bigger, don't say some, because I've seen people that at the early stage they did not give their fish the good quality feed. When the fish is now about 3 months, 4 months, they now started giving it the feed that are supposed to be given to them in the early stage. They say at least they can feed it. They don't know that they are wasting energy. They are wasting energy. What else are they wasting? If you have been following me, they are not only wasting energy, you are also wasting feed. You are wasting money. The reason is that feed is more expensive than what they need now. I'm an adult now. If you give me a baby's food, I will consume it. But the nutrients in the feed of a baby is high, excessively high than I need. Yes, money, I know. Actually, that's not what I meant. I'm talking, yeah, feed and money. Yeah, feed. Okay, yeah, that's it, really. Everything boils down to money. And even time, stress. Your stress can be used for something else. And you're stressing the fish that can dispose them to disease and all of that. Even from the comment section, I say that you get what I'm saying. So let me move to the next one, storage. How you store your feed. So this one is also one of the many things that in the secrets many farmers do not know. You know why? Because it's not farmers think until a fish is bad, that you see that this fish is growing mold, that the feed is bad. No. See, if your fish is growing mold already, just know that that's a very serious case. Don't try to feed that feed to your fish because it can cause disease. That's another layer that maybe I'll soon touch on what it will cause. But I want to let you know, it's very important. I want to let you know that your feed don't have to be growing molds already. Feed can be so bad already and does not grow mold. Feed can be so bad already and may not be really smelling. And I'll tell you some of those reasons. Because in feed are, fortified with vitamins. They are fortified with oils. So many of you farmers watching me right now, I know you will relate with this, that maybe you or your farm workers, once they finish feeding the fish, they will not close the bag of the feed. See, that single mistake will allow the vitamins in your feed. Remember, I mentioned that feed are fortified with vitamins, minerals. In the ingredients, they have vitamins, they have oils. So those oils will escape. Vitamins will escape. There are some nutrients that will escape. You now think you are feeding your fish with that good quality. It's no more good. And guess what? They will not grow like they should. They will not give you money like they should. Do you see what I'm talking about here? Another thing is that your fish should not be placed on bare floor. It's simple, but people don't know. Because it's in that process that heat and moisture comes in. I talked about the enemies of feed in that book. I'm mentioning that book so much because all of the secrets are there. But Get what I'm saying? Get what I'm saying? If your feed is too heated, I mean, maybe there's direct sunlight, you know, touching your feed every day, the quality will reduce. You will not know. You will give this feed to your fish, they will be doing well. They will rush it. You will feel, they are growing. But at the end of the day, you see that these fish are growing, but they are feeding, but some of you, do you even see them grow, but you do not know that that growth is slower than what should have happened. So when I'm saying that, is there a way you can boost your fish growth? Is about understanding these things. If you understand these things I'm talking about, and when they talk about boosters, you just be laughing. Because have you seen anyone who is using booster and getting results? Good water quality, good feed, right conditions, right timing, right quantity at the right time. Don't underfeed, don't overfeed. The periods, know the periods well. Give them the right size of feed. These are the realities. These are the realities. These are the realities. These are the deep realities. Yes, I love that. Wow. I love that emoji. Wow. These are the realities. And see, in your feed storage, I bet there is a rat in your feed store right now. So one of the things, rats or rodents generally, they are enemies. Oh, hi, when I see rats in a meal or a feed store, you don't know how I feel. So you will see that rodents will go to, they love, because they know what they are getting from it. They love feeds. Do you know what they will do? They will excrete in the feed. You will in turn feed that feed to your fish. Disease can come from there. Have you ever thought of this? I'm telling you the realities. And all of these things we are saying is not something that we are just coming up with. We have put all of this to research, to test, and we see that, hey, this is why. This is the reason. I'm telling you, these are many years of experience that we are distilling. So you now, you see money is being wasted, and it's possible for you to see even um the excretes of some rodents. You will see, and you will know that rodents have come here. You'll be able, but what's in the cases that they urinate on your feed? Because rodents urinate. When they urinate on feed, they contaminate that feed. That feed no longer has the quality of what was produced. So you will be thinking that, oh, a you produced a feed that is good, or you bought a feed that has good quality, and that's what you are feeding. But that's not the case anymore. The quality reduced with urine of with urine of rodents and all of that. What am I saying? Rodents is your enemy on your farm. See, if you see any single rat, if you see any single rodent on your farm or in your feed store, treat them like a terrorist. You know how a sovereign state will treat a terrorist? I mean, a state, a nation that is sane, a sane nation. They see a terrorist, you don't treat them like friends. You treat them like real enemy. So you want to be like a war general. How will a war general treat a terrorist when he sees one? You fight it with all of the power you can. You eradicate it. And those guys can be stubborn. But guess, I just already told you, them with all you can. Fight them with all you can. Fight them with all you can. So on no account should your fish should have bad odor. That's what, I mentioned earlier that your fish does not have to have bad odor or bad smell, or you feel the moisture in your feed already. No, don't feed it to your fish. It may in turn cause diseases. When there is mold, on your feed, there's something we call aflatoxin. I don't want to be using terms. I just want the simpler things that you relate. Everybody and even layman can relate with. But since I mentioned, there's something we call aflatoxins. It can be detriment to your fish. And when molds grow on your feed, aflatoxin may be present there. And when you feed them, they cause problem, they cause diseases, and all of that. Do you get what I'm saying? So the talking about how to store your feed well now. Don't put them in, don't put your feed on bare floor. Use pallets, and you can improvise. You can improvise with bamboo woods, with woods and all of that. But just don't put them on bare um, floor. Whenever you take feed, cover them properly. Cover them properly. Some people in the process of moving feed from the store to the fish pond, they waste some feed. So carry it properly if you need to use wheelbarrow, or if you need to only loosen it when you get to your feeding point, so that you don't waste feed. You know why? Though you are taking records, we are training you to be taking records of all you are doing. If you in turn take all the records of the feed you have used, you will not mention that 500 gram wasted on the road today while I was taking it from the feed store to the pond. So you will have high expectation. You will be saying that, okay, because of that, it would have converted this so quantity of feed to fish flesh, and you're expecting this weight. You see, you are hyping, you are expecting too much that you did not give, just because some of them wasted. I hope you get what I'm saying. If you need some more clarification on what I just said, please let me know. But you want to, like I said, place on pallets, cover your feed after you use it. When you are moving your feed from one place to another, ensure that it is well kept and you are not wasting feed. Keep your feed away from direct sunlight. Yeah, from direct sunlight. Keep your feed away from that. Um, in the hatchery, because of how the feed is, they should not be in polythene nylons and all of these things. You want to, even if they come with bags, plastic bags, put them in plastic bowls that have covers. They should always be covered. Ensure that nothing, hair, even the big size feed, hair does not enter into it. You want to use container in the hatchery to secure it from insects or rodents or ants, or anything. And don't use feed that are too has been kept for too long. This is one single reason why some people are having problem on their farm. So in fact, it's a common knowledge. Some people use feed that is expired on their farm. But if it is, I want to tell you, because some people use it and they think it's working, but by now you know that some things appear like it's working, but on the peripheral is the issue have grown more than that. So those that say this feed will expire by this month, they are the producers. They know why they said that. So follow the prescription of expiry date. That's it. Let me check our time, I think. Okay. So I think it's a good place to but don't forget what I said, that even if your fish have not started, your feed is not smelling or does not look rotten and all of that, it does not mean it's not bad. So how do you put structure into it? Make sure that all of these things are in place. Make sure that all of these things that we have discussed are in place. I hope you got all of those. And if it has now getting to the point of smelling and all of that, that's a big thing. Don't use the feed. Don't use the, it's better for you not to use the feed. So I was invited to a particular farm they were having serious mortalities. So I was invited to the farm and then the first thing I did was I checked the water. I took samples for the water and analyzed the water parameters right there on the farm. It wasn't bad, really. You know what I did next? I told them to take me to where they keep their feed. When I got there, you won't believe what I saw. The feed was, there was moisture in it already. It was caked. You can see something as if something is caked. You take some pieces out, they are gumming together. You see. So that's you. So I told them that this is not feed. I told them this is poison, and that is what it is. In some cases we have to be very real, and I can be very real with things. Feed is not. You can think you are feeding your fish, and you can be poisoning them. Yes, that's when you will see. Yeah, your media Esther says that's serious. It's really serious. It's really serious. I think this is a good place for me to stop today. And tomorrow, hi. Please, if you have questions, quickly bring it up. But I'm going to round up. If you are yet to subscribe to this page, please do so. Kindly subscribe. And if you have not hit the like button, you should do so right now. Please hit the like button. You also want to share this video with anyone, or this channel with any farmer that they will love you for that, and they will always appreciate you. Let's learn together and let's grow together. So if you have questions, yeah, I see awesome session. Yeah, thank you. That's so amazing. Tomorrow we are going to be dealing with something important, and I won't shoot beyond the gun. But what we are talking about tomorrow is um, fish, fingerlings, and early growth. Fingerlings. I mean, you want to understand. You don't want to miss tomorrow's sessions. I will not overhype it. You don't want to miss tomorrow's sessions. And from the comment box, I see that we do not have any questions, and this will now be a time for us. You see, our faculty lead at Pisces Academy, today is his birthday. Can we take some time to celebrate him here, to say happy birthday to our faculty lead? He's been a kind of person that shares his experience. He pours to us without drawing back, in person of Oluwasanmi Samabiodun. We want to, can you, I'm waiting for your comments now. Let the comments keep coming. Let's yes, thank you. You're welcome. This is the time for us to celebrate our faculty lead. Today is the birthday of our faculty lead. Can you say some sweet things to him? Yes, 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 yes. And while we are doing that, I saw a question from um Chem Solution, who says, hello, sir. You said there is low oxygen in the morning, sir. Are we going to top the water before eating, before feeding, or after feeding to increase the oxygen? So, the oxygen is as a result of the weather. So I said I explained all of these details and breakdown in the um book. So, but there is something that happens during the night that's it makes sure that now allows that in the early hours of the morning, oxygen is not really available in the water anymore. The oxygen is low. So when it is too early, the oxygen is still low. But when you don't need to change water or anything. As long as the temperature becomes hotter, it will reflect in the temperature of the water, because it is the dissolved oxygen in the water the fish is responding to, and the dissolved oxygen is affected by atmospheric oxygen. But in some cases, what you can do is to aerate. You put an aerator to increase the oxygen in the water. You may not need to change the water, because the water you want to put to may already have, depending on your source, may already have low dissolved oxygen. But the way to work with this is that timing that I gave. Feed mid-morning and feed late afternoon or early evening, as the case may be. 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. is a good. You may say 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. something like that. But make sure that you fall. If you use 9 a.m., don't feed 11 a.m. the next day. Always adhere to that 9 a.m., 9 a.m., 9 a.m., 9 a.m. If you use 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., always adhere. But whenever there is need, like an exception that we explained earlier on, you follow the exception. You leave it for that time, maybe an exception like Harmattan period or a serious downpour. And they may not even feed well. If there's, you can skip it and continue your routine. It's not that you are stopping it, you skip it and then you continue your routine. Yeah, I see many. Please let me know if you get that. I see many comments for our faculty lead. Thank you. In fact, I wanted him to come to appear on screen while we are doing this, but you know, he's been on, he's been attending to so many things, and it's about fish. It's about fish. All right, so but he's with us. I want you to know he's seen all of these things. He's seen all of these things. He's fully with us. He's just not able to appear on screen today. And tomorrow, interestingly, we are meeting again here live on YouTube. So we had a small glitch in the beginning that, made us to reset the link. So tomorrow, that's fixed already. That's why we take some time before we began today. We had fixed it once and for all. So tomorrow we are starting immediately 6 p.m. West African time. We move tomorrow. And yes, I see the comments. Amazing, everyone. Amazing, everyone. I think that's been an amazing session today. It's been an amazing session. And this is the time. If there's still questions, please let me know. Please let me know. Is it just cold water? We are rounding up now, so if you have questions, bring them. Leonard Marvelous says, is it just cold water or does hot weather also affect this condition? Yes, when the weather is too hot, they will still not be able. But for catfish and the kind of weather we have, follow this timing. Don't feed in the afternoon. If the weather is too hot, they will not feed well. And the ones they feed to, they will not use it well. Yes, it's not only cold weather, also hot weather. Yes, yes. Happy birthday to our faculty lead. Thanks very much, Mr. Taiwo. Thank you too. Amazing. Glad to have you all here. Thank you very much for the knowledge impacted. Thank you too. I want you to know that there is a case study analysis to this. And that's why I was mentioning that everyone should register their presence. So, as you know, it's our custom. Only those who attended will be able to participate in the group case study. And I would have dropped the case study briefing in the official community immediately, but we will need to work on the attendance to only ensure that only those who are present will be on the breakout rooms. So we'll be doing some adjustments on the breakout rooms, and immediately after that is done, I will drop the briefing for today. Tomorrow too has the case study. If you understand all of these things, I love those our case study presentations, the analysis and all of that. It's going to be amazing. We are still going to, that cannot, the presentation and defense of that cannot be on YouTube here. We'll go back into our closed community. And let me not shoot beyond. Good to have you, Emmanuel Daniel. So you are just registering your presence now. Please, if you are here to do so, quickly do that before we end this. Let's take maybe the next 2 minutes to do that. So I'll take a question then from young Emmy, Emmanuel Daniel, who says, can charcoal be used as supplement for room temperature? I am not sure I get that question clearly. So are you talking about using charcoal to increase the temperature in a fish hatchery? Is that what you're talking about? Or you're talking about grow out supplements? Supplements is a word for feed used in feeds. Okay. So let me know so we can deal with that. But if not, we can always deal with our questions and answers on the official community. and we can do that. So if you are yet to register your presence, please do, please do, please do, please do, please do. I'm doing countdown to. If you have any other questions in the process of this countdown, let me know so we can quickly do justice to it. I think this has been an amazing session. Josephine Street, is this your name? So also we still want to I have a question above. There are a number of chats, comments in the chat box that I may not have seen. Please bring it back. I must have missed it. Please bring it back. Adewoye, Adeyemi, please bring your question, and that should be the last question for today, so that we go to face other things. So let's have your question. Let's have your question. Let's have a question. I think this has been an amazing session. I decided not to rush today, so I can really do justice to this. So I can take time to, sometimes because of the zeal, I take time to put everything out so that you will. But even those times, the one you did not get has entered into your spirit. But today I took enough time to be calm, not to rush. So, can all these live sessions be made available to everyone after the whole mentorship comes to an end? We will think about it, but just so you know, so the faculty will decide on these things and let you know, especially for the sessions that are recorded. Okay. If you feed the juvenile 3 times daily, is it okay to feed around 10 p.m. in the night? Yes, anytime. Anytime. We feed. So it's just that's why I said it depends on these things. We feed in the middle of the night. We feed, especially when it's young fishes. Oh, we feed at 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., anytime, based on our schedules, based on what is happening around, in the farm, in the pond, based on how well you are managing the water. Very important. Very important. Can we sun dry feed that has moisture? Okay, I think this is the question. I didn't see this earlier, but thank you for bringing that question again. If you sun dry feed that has moisture, the sun may reduce the moisture. If there are some things that are outside of the feed, the sun may kill some of them, but those that are inside, the sun will not. Also, there are bacteria that ultraviolet rays can kill. There are bacteria that ultraviolet rays will not have any effect on. If you have studied bacteria, there are some bacteria that are thermophilic, there are bacteria that thrive in cold, there are some bacteria that thrive in heat, there are some bacteria that when you put them in water, they thrive well better. Okay, so the best thing is to avoid that your feed does not degenerate or deteriorate into this condition. When it happens, my recommendation for you is don't use it. I've seen where it's been used a number of times. I'm telling you the truth. And I will not advise you to use a feed that has gone bad, that has, caked, that has moisture already. It's not a feed you. You see, I mentioned earlier, the one that doesn't have moisture, is not caked, the one that is not smelling bad can still be a bad feed. When you now see the one that have these 3 things I said, one or more of these 3 things, moisture, caking, smelling, just know that's the worst case scenario. Don't use it. Don't use it. It's a bad feed already, and I strongly believe that there is nothing you will get from that kind of feed. Thank you so much for that very question. And I want to thank everyone who is on this. Okay, I have another question. Okay, so Leonard Marvelous is trying to understand this. But middle of the night is usually cold. So that's why every feeding you are doing, you must look at your response. You feed with response. So again, this is the point where we now recommend that everyone see if you are in this session and you have listened from beginning to the end, and you get that ebook, you will understand those principles to nitty gritty. This is the time I will recommend that everyone should get my ebook on. So with ebook, there's no barrier. Should get my ebook on feeding errors. For everyone on this session, on this live session, there's a 20% discount for the ebook. So you should get it. All of these other questions, are answered there. And if there are any other things, so that we don't go back and we face some other things in the weekend and even prepare for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be an amazing one. Yeah. So that's it about that, Leonard Marvelous. So there are things you need to consider. You feed with response. When you see they are responding, you still give them feed. All right. You don't stop. I have someone that feed poisoned dead rodents to fish. What is your take on that? Poisoned dead rodents to fish. I wish I could arrest that person. That's so gross. You see, there's something we call fish welfare, and one of our mentors is coming. You will get to understand something about this. And in this climb of the world, we are getting there very soon, especially with the kind of things we are doing. In this climb of the world, many people do not treasure the life of fish or the life of animals. How can you? In fact, do you know that there are some diseases that we call them zoonotic? If your fish contacts those kind of disease from animals, they don't go off. Even when humans consume that fish or the product, humans can still get those kind of things. They are called zoonotic. That's one entirely. See, it's not healthy, it's not ideal, it's not sustainable. A lot is wrong with that. A lot is wrong on that. Someone feeding poisoned dead rodents to fish? Hi. That person needs to be arrested. That person needs to be jailed. That person needs to be jailed. I mean, you see, in this thing we are saying, some people will not take it serious, but we are not the regular farmers. We don't think like the regular farmers. We are doing the right thing. We are putting everything into consideration, and we're ensuring that what we are producing is sustainable for the environment. What we are producing is sustainable for the health of the fish and the health of humans. Sustainability is our goal. All right. And money is our goal. That person, the kind of person doing that, practicing that, will not make Z, not X, zoonotic. So you may want to look it up and make some researches on this. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Thanks so much so far. I do have a question. Can the aeration or oxygen quality affect feed consumption behavior? Yes, positively. If you aerate your fish, your pond, and the oxygen is enough, yes, they will do better because the environment is more conducive for them. Yes, thank you for putting the right spelling of zoonotic. Thank you. God bless you, Josephine. Yes, if you aerate, it may put them in a better condition to optimize the feed well, to do well. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. The way the questions are coming, I think everyone is feeling at home here. But honestly, it's been an amazing session. 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 I think there are no more questions. If you don't have any questions, kindly react or say something in the chat box or hit the like button so that I know that this is a good place for us to pull the curtain, and then we meet tomorrow. The way we pull curtain here, before we pull another curtain, someone will come with another question. So, so it's a good time for us to end this session, and I want to thank every mentee or everyone who is not a mentee that have visited today, or maybe you were just walking by the street of YouTube and you know stumbled on us. This is a place where we discuss fish farming to do it rightly, and then um we make money while doing it. Glad to have you, everyone. If you're yet to subscribe to this page, please subscribe, hit the like button, and this is where we pull the curtain. Peace out. Have an amazing day. See you tomorrow, 6 p.m. West African time. We're talking about fingerlings, healthy growth, healthy growth, everything, how to select. Hey, I won't tell you what we are doing tomorrow, but see you tomorrow. Today has been an amazing session, and I'll see you tomorrow. Stay fine till tomorrow. Peace out.